Senator Smith.
Thank you very much, Chair Bozeman and Ranking Member, and welcome both of you to the committee. Dr. Hutchins, thanks so much for our meeting yesterday. I appreciated the conversation, and I want to just follow up on that discussion. So I believe that both you and I agree that in the face of the very challenging farm economy and in a world where many producers are not breaking even, that a focus on research and innovation is really crucial. And as you know, because I know you visited them, we have two agriculture research service labs in Minnesota. They're very important to Minnesota producers. They rely on them. They both are doing very different kinds of work, as you know, very different kinds of research. And so my question to you is, what commitments can you make to me and the committee that those two facilities will remain open and will not suffer further staff reductions as we're seeing in different parts of the USDA?
Thank you, Senator Smith, for that question, and thank you for the time as well. So what's clear with what's happening is that we will need to step back and look at each of these facilities. I believe ARS currently has over 90 facilities. Each of them were developed with a very effective mission focus. Some of those missions have been continued to add a lot of value. Others perhaps have migrated to other areas of focus, such as the Bovie Lab I just mentioned. So what I can commit to you, Senator, is that I will personally do an objective assessment of all these facilities, understand the value proposition that they're providing to not just the Minnesota farmers, but to farmers more broadly, and to put together proposals and advocates for how we maintain the capability to provide the solutions, provide the innovations, and provide leading edge approaches to all aspects of agricultural production.
I appreciate that. I don't hear quite what I'm looking for, but I would just urge you as you go forward, realizing the scope of control you have here, that as you're making those decisions and doing that assessment, that you're talking directly with farmers and ranchers and producers who rely on what those research facilities are providing, so that you have a good view of what is to be lost and what is to be gained if they stay there as a resource for producers.
Yes, ma'am. They're there for those stakeholders, and I really want to hear, understand, and appreciate the challenges that they're facing and how we can assist.
Thank you very much. I want to ask, follow up on another thing that we talked about yesterday as farmers and producers are dealing with an increasing number of extreme weather events, heat, flooding, you name it. We had a discussion about the importance of making sure that we are doing everything we can to help producers adapt. I know this is something that you've spent a lot of time on in your career, as for example, we talked about the impact of different bugs and invasive species that can shift and move as the climate changes. And so could you just talk a bit about that and how you would orient USDA research to ensure that producers have the opportunity to do the long-term adaptation that's going to be required?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the question. So absolutely, I feel strongly that the science and the technology that we have in hand and that continues to develop, I'm talking about gene technologies, I'm talking about abilities to make the plant resistant to drought and heat, I'm talking about insects. So there's all kinds of technologies that are evolving and developing in the digital world, as well as in the genetic world. And University of Minnesota is a leading breeding, teaching, and learning institution that I have every confidence we'll be able to address these if we're allowed and permitted to develop the kind of tools and put them to practice the way I think we all hope that we can. There are not any, I think, challenges in front of us that we cannot address in an effective way if we're able to utilize the science and technology that we can already see in front of us.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Let me give a shout out to Mike McCormick, President of the Mississippi Farm Bureau. We do appreciate working with you and all that you represent in Mississippi, the great job that you all do.